It's a hit?
Someone say hit?
No, we're a hit.
Oh, you need like a good neighbor? State Farm is there.
At State Farm, we know how to help your growing business.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Competing comes naturally, but truly enjoying each other, it's happening if you look closely. These are the days. At Omni's, stay 3 or more nights this summer and save up to 20%.
Is all three. All three. Stupid, full of shit, and fucking nuts. Sonny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Fucking moron.
Thank you. You said that you're welcome haters. I hope that you don't consider me as a one.
No, I don't consider you a hater, but the haters are welcome. I find that the haters make the show not only more educational, but more entertaining. I always let the haters speak.
Yeah, I've always been respectful, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to comment on the previous.
Yeah, just don't mention his name, but you can comment. You can comment on anything you want, and if you feel compelled, just say a previous speaker. That's fine.
Okay. Well,
that's why I didn't name the hater that spoke in the last hour. I just said the haters are always welcome. I didn't mention his name. Yeah, go ahead.
No need to mention names. Just the conversation that took place, which was very nice and respectful. And I really appreciate the way of thinking that you say, I don't believe in God because I don't see him, I don't talk to him, I don't, you mentioned so many proofs. And I really appreciate that way of thinking, which is good, of course, but it cannot be generalized in everything. Simply, there are so many things we don't see. Like, for example, conscience. Where is conscience? Do we really feel it? But where is it there? Where is our minds? We have brains, but where is the mind?
Well, what's your definition of conscience? Because my definition of conscience is being awake.
Well, my point here is that the point is it is not there. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. It is not tangible thing. It is just a hidden thing, but it is there.
I disagree with you, sir. If you agree with my definition, it's very easy to see conscience because it's when someone's awake. They're conscious.
So it means that by other action, you believe conscience is there. But you cannot
conscious,
really see
if you look in the
itself.
dictionary, you can fact check me. Conscious means a state of being awake. I can look it up for you if you want. Please continue.
My point here.
Yes.
I hope that you really get my point. If it is not really clear, I will try to rephrase my words. My point here is that there are things we cannot really see, we cannot really feel, but we know that it is there based on other things and other proofs. You know what I mean?
Well, for example, air, you can't see air, but I can prove that air exists.
Exactly. Where is life? We know life, or we can see life in creation, but we cannot really see the life itself, meaning that life is there, but we cannot see it. We see it from other things. So my point here, there are so many things we cannot really see or touch or feel or anything, but we obviously think that it is there because of other things that really prove that these things are there. For example, air, or conscience, or mind, and all those things. You already think that, nothing really proves that God is there because there is a cause or a reason for the sun, there is a cause or a reason for life for human beings, the cause or the reason for this and that. But who already put the system of all these things in order to be that accurate? You cannot read through letters in a printer and you expect it's going to be a theater or a drama or a novel. Just by throwing letters, there must be a system that based on it, you will find the results or something you will find at the end. For every cause, there is a reason. That's what God said. And also God said, for example, pray for me.
Or I would do your praise. So, for instance, I was based on human perspective, and perspective is, of course, God, please move this side to that side. By this I pray to God, and by this in the Quran.
But not this? Of course not. And he already responded to my prayers. He gave me the eyes to see. He gave me the hand to catch. He gave me the muscles to move. So he responded my prayers. But people who think things with very limited or narrow perspective, and respectively, of course, the calculations of human beings is different than the diving calculations of bad calculations. I hope that I gave it clear. That's it.
Yes, you were clear. And before we move on, let me say this. I'm on the internet right now. Take it for what it's worth. Firstly, it does say conscious is sometimes confused with conscience and consciousness. So depending on how the word is used, there's a lot of different definitions. So I stand corrected by the good old internet. Thank you, Egyptian. Everybody on stage will get a chance to speak before the end. I guarantee it. We put a premium on new speakers. Let's go to Carranza. Good morning, Carranza. Welcome back to Ask the Atheist. What would you like to talk about?
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Happy butt cheeks to you.
Happy butt. What does that mean?
Happy Sunday. It's a pleasure to see you back on the show.
Sunday's fun day when you got butt cheeks.
That's right. It's a day of worship.
I wanted to go back to the whole apology and admission of guilt
Of course, absolutely.
from a long time ago. I want to apologize to John for saying that, but he is still guilty of being smelly.
Love that. Love that.
Well,
Thank
I'd
you.
just like to ask
Yeah.
for Carranza's forgiveness for being smelly. Apologize, that's for sure.
And you shall not have it.
James Coretta, you are chomping at the bit. Would you like 60 seconds before I move on? I can see you chomping. Go ahead.
Yeah, this whole Egypt thing, it sounded like he was heading towards the contingency argument, and however, the contingency argument doesn't lead to, therefore, God. It just leads to there must be something for other things to exist. And then when he said, God answered my prayers by giving me sight and the ability to hear and touch and all those senses that we have, those are just claims, right? There's nothing to back that up that you know God answered your prayer by the fact that you can see things, observe things, and understand the reality, which is the world in which we live in, right? So, but thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you. And again, I think that his message may have been interpreted differently by different people, and I just want to leave it at that. Well, let's go to Adrian. Adrian, it's a pleasure to see you back on The Atheist. You have a fresh five. What would you like to talk about? Adrian going once. Adrian going twice. Okay, we'll come back to Adrian. Let's welcome Egyptian. Hang on. I want to get the new speakers in. We'll come back to you. It's okay. Take notes so you don't forget what you want to say. Let's go to MJ. MJ, welcome to Ask the Atheist. You get a fresh five. What would you like to talk about? MJ. MJ going once. MJ going twice. Okay, we'll come back to MJ. Daryl, you're up. Welcome back to Ask the Atheist. You have a fresh five. What would you like to talk about?
Hey, can you come back to me?
Yes, I sure can. Not a problem. Not a problem. Now we have 666 on the show. I know for a fact, at least under that profile, that the 666 has never been on the show before. So welcome to Ask the Atheist. It's a pleasure to have you here. You have a fresh five. What would you like to talk about? 666 going once. 666 going twice. We'll come back to 666. Okay, let's try Adrian again. Adrian, are you there? Adrian, are you...
Yeah, this is Adrian. I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. Hi.
Hello, Uncle Steve. I would like to reserve a full 5 minutes to read from the sayings of the Buddha, otherwise known as the writings of the
You only
Dhammapada.
get 60 seconds. Hello. You only get 60 seconds to read. I've never given you more than 60 seconds to read. Go ahead.
Thank you. I will take the full 60 seconds. This is the
I know you will.
This is the Dhammapada. Those who, having understood this clearly, are advanced in earnestness, delight therein, rejoicing in the knowledge of the Aryas, the elect, these wise people, meditative, persevering, always possessed of strong powers, attain to nirvana, the highest happiness. If a man is earnest and exerts himself, if he is ever mindful, if his deeds are pure, if his acts with consideration and restraint and lives according to the law, then his glory will increase. By rousing himself, by earnestness, by temperance and self-control, the wise man may make for himself an island which no flood can overwhelm. Senseless and foolish folk fall into sloth. The wise man guards earnestness as his best treasure. Follow not after vanity, nor after the enjoyment of love and lust. He who is earnest and meditative obtains ample joy. Thank you, Uncle Steve.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much for that. Is there anything else you wanted to say without reading, or are you good?
I feel as if I am complete. Thank you, I am good.
That is magnificent. Thank you for your contribution.
Get off the stage, bitch!
To the VIP. We do allow people to read from whatever they want. Book, Bible, poetry, but we put a cap on reading at 60 seconds. Let's welcome Vels. Hi, Vels. Welcome to Ask the Atheist. You have a fresh five. What would you like to talk about?
Right. So, two things. I have like two favorite arguments. One is the origins of life, and I understand that Egyptian kind of talked about it, and we agreed that science doesn't have it.
Please refer to him as a prior speaker. Please continue.
I mean, a few prior speakers already conversed on the subject, and I understand that you agree that science doesn't have a definite theory on the origin.
I never said anything about science the entire 2.5 hours the show has been going on, but please continue.
Right, but we don't have a theory, no matter scientific or whatever, on the origins of life, right?
No. You're 100% wrong. Science does have a theory. It's called the Big Bang.
The origins of life, I mean, not the origins of the universe.
Well, do you think there was life in the universe before the universe was created?
All his worth is tied to this debating shit, and he still sucks at it. He's like the value artist. The one thing that he sort of tries to extrapolate value from, he's shit at it.
I should just leave this room. This room goes forever.
You need to lengthen Natty Ice thing. What? Sorry?
The lady from Australia who got last place in breakdancing at the Olympics. Did you see this?
No.
That's the funniest fucking video ever.
It's like so bad, it's like fake. But anyway, apparently she has a PhD and teaches the socio-impact of breakdancing. Like, that's what she teaches.
Oh my God.
I got money on my mind, mind on my money. 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 Money on my mind, mind on my money.
She's terrible at it.
Sean Carroll was such a boss, dude. This abstract.
Oh, I know. Adrian! 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 Adrian!
They take that really personally.
I thought Andrew was on board. Wait, I thought Andrew was on
Barber cut his ear.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I don't hope the barber sneezes when he hears.
MJ, I guess you can't talk right now, but you take William Craig. That's. I guess. Where have you been? Talking about why I'm asking. Where have you been? I don't know. MJ's so smart. He loves William Lane. Never heard him. I didn't know about that. He's always talking about William Lane. What do you mean he's always talking about it? Dude, he's literally always talking. Okay, fuck you. That's why it's crazy. That's why it's crazy here.
William Lane straight to MJ's Van Til to Darth Dawkins.
Oh yeah, but even Darth doesn't talk about Van Til that much. He just runs a stupid script.
I guess he's communicating Van Til through his script, right?
Yeah. That's fine. If MJ is communicating Craig through his discussions that's fine. I've never heard him talk about it directly, I guess. But William Lane Craig's a fucking joke. Come on. William Lane Craig versus Shelley Kagan, William Lane Craig versus anyone who has any actual William Lane Craig versus Arif Ahmed. Like he just gets like when people have actual, debating prowess and or he's off his like usual timed debate strategy, he just gets clowned on. Like the minute he has to ask
debate strategy.
Operatorship. Yeah, some model operatorship, right?
No, I mean, I kind of enjoy the guy, listening to the guy sometimes, but I mean, I do think a lot of it has to do with just, I don't think he's terrible per se, because I actually think he's a good reasoner. I just think his arguments tend to be on his argumentation, I think, is what impacts his kind of like debate prowess that you were talking about.
Well, like, so what I feel is that like the minute he gets taken off his script, quote unquote, and or the time constraints that he puts on people, like he always does formal debates. It's like no matter what, it's a formal debate, right? So like when it's a formal debate, you only have so much time for rebuttal. There's only so many
Well, when
points you get into.
he talks to people sometimes in like sort of informal settings.
In podcasts, he talks to them in podcasts, and those are less constricted than.
But he always chooses podcasts that like have restrictions like unbelievable, right? That like has to have a strong have a strong like moderator, right? And that moderator is going to move them on from subject to subject so that he doesn't have to spend time.
Capturing Christianity is like one of those.
Exactly. Like he thrives on there being a structure such that he can't get questioned too deeply about any one given point, because the minute he gets questioned too deeply about one given point, he falls apart.
Who is this person? Andrew B. Back, but nice room. What? Dude, we gotta bring Shameless in. I can't believe Timothy missed this. No. Come on, Sully. Like the whole fucking Planet Fitness. Were you there for the Planet Fitness roast? Were you there?
I don't know. I've heard it.
That's like the first time. That's like the first time that Shamos has like been silent during roasts of himself, right? Just goes completely. It's like you either mention the fact that he lives inside of a van, or that the anime debaters beat him up, and then he's like, "What?
What is an anime debater? I hear that term thrown about a bunch.
It's not an actual anime. So when
it's just like someone
anime
who's like an avatar or whatever. Like who's like a
someone who comes from the community of people who debate anime originally.
Okay.
And have like a very subtle AY script, stuff that Nightclub likes to talk about, and they just like interview you throughout an entire discussion without actually arguing any position positively.
Which was, you know, what was really funny was when you talked to Mason and you were like, you didn't even give an argument yet, and he wanted an argument for like every assumption of the modality in which like God is necessary first.
Oh yeah.
And you actually started doing it. That was fun.
Yeah, I did, but then he sort of like conflated having a conceptual analysis of metaphysical necessity with like the way I'm using necessity in a particular context, right? Because I was using it for that modal logic stuff, and he's like, okay, but do you have like a conceptual analysis of this like per se? And I'm like, well, no. And he's like, oh no, that's a contradiction. That's a contradiction.
You fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but the problem is that if you keep giving him ammo, if you keep saying, oh, well, yeah, I think you're good, but you do shit like this, then, it builds up.
I'm not giving him ammo. I'm trying to, see, you gotta learn how to use the good cop, bad cop kind of strategy here.
Yeah, but people aren't good cop to me, so why the fuck?
I am also good cop to you, you little bastard. You see?
No. Well, I mean, kind of. Let's not forget forget that libertarian free will discussion from like over 8.
Yeah, see, these are the kinds of things that you guys remember. You're very similar. See, like, I've said positive things to Mason like a million times, and then if I say like one thing he did was wrong, he gets
the
pissed.
attitude. Like Mason,
And they never forget it.
Doesn't warrant.
Remember 3 years ago when you said I was wrong about that one?
Yeah, that's, yeah. Well, I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, you were for the war in Iraq, Hillary. What happened? Well, my donors changed, right? Like, I have new donors. No, yeah, it's like, if you were to go to any other place that isn't Clubhouse or Discord, like, yeah, Mason's behavior would just be, like, unacceptable, right? Like, I get it, right? Like, he sort of, like, has his little group. They're into, like, the debate pro opponent stuff, right? That's all fine. But if you're going to do that, I mean, at least have, like, some sort of semblance of competence.
I once somebody reposted a conversation I had with him, and like by the end of it, I'm trying to give him. You were there. You were there when I had this conversation with him because you like asked me to talk to him, and it was like the one about the previous interaction you had.
Yeah, the intuitionism stuff. Which, by the way,
like by the end of it, we just ended up talking about like language the whole time, and by the end of it, I'm sitting there going like, okay, but like say you're like on a desert island and there's nobody else around, right? So you don't have the. He kept trying to say like, well, I would just like reflect on like other people's usages of the term and like my usage of the term, and I'm just like, there are no terms because you'd be talking to yourself, right?
Yeah.
He was like not getting it, dude. I got so upset at the end of that. I was like, no, you're by yourself. Right, there's no one else. There's no terms in the history of terms. You just said, I don't know what you're saying anymore.
If you go back to the discussion I had, he granted that under my concept of justification, under like the parameters that I was using in that discussion for phenomenal conservatism, he was granting that I was justified, but he was just like, okay, but this. A concept isn't something which I employ, right? But I'm granting you justification anyway, but I want you to motivate the claim given, like, my conception of what justification is, right? And it's like, okay, then we're just at, like, a stopping point there because we just have, like, 2 different concepts of justification, right? But he's so dishonest because there's an element of ridicule.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't know how to do conceptual analysis, where you would say, like, here's why mine is better. He thinks everything is a definite.
No, but there is some element of ridicule in what he's trying to do, which is like, oh, your concept is so ridiculous, which is like, well, justification just is identical to my arm, right? And it's like, I'm not saying that, right? It's like, yeah, sure, like, maybe I'm going from like a more intuitionistic perspective on justification. You might even say like some form of epistemic sentimentalism, which is like a fringe view in epistemology. But to like equate that to like, oh, but I just don't find that interesting, so I'm just going to like not deal with it is like how is that productive? Like, if anything, if he was a good debater, he would go by that concept and see why I wouldn't be justified according to it, right? He would, like, work within my parameters and then just, like, destroy everything, right? But instead, he tries to, like, imperialize you with his sort of conception, right? Sort of his method of understanding. And that's why all these debaters, they're not good in that sense. Because that's what that's what Venus does. Like, Venus just assumes under every discussion it has to go by his parameters of how the conversation should go. His conception of justification, his conception of this. And if you don't go by it, you're retarded, right? Essentially. That's what he does. Right? That's not good. That's just like bulldozing. That's just a form of intellectual bulldozing under, like, but whatever. I mean, I do that a lot, but I do that for like entertainment purposes. I mean, these people do it like just as an actual method for debating. They think this is good, you know. Like Ask Yourself has like a whole methodology on how to debate. Do you know that, Sully?
Yeah.
Like a systematic approach, semantic analysis. But that semantic analysis isn't an actual semantic analysis.
I know, I've told them that. I told them that like a really long time ago, and they didn't listen to me then, and they just like don't,
Yeah, and they're stubborn, and they think like you resent them, and you're jealous, right? And no, you can't be jealous of someone who is like a virtual broccoli muncher, right?
It's just like this kind of mind virus originating from like Dark Dawkins, Jack, and like Ask Yourself.
Yeah, it's the same nexus. Apollo wants to debate you on physicalism, but he's like, oh, well, I'm learning Arabic, whatever.
I mean, we talked about something like, I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to Apollo. I don't see.
Of course you would, because you're like Apollo's. You think Apollo's an idiot, so yeah, I'm gonna talk to an idiot.
I talk to smart people.
You ran away
do
from
you
the talk
think
with
Apollo
Seamus
is
about
an idiot?
Bitcoin.
Do you think Apollo?
I did not, Millith. First
Yes,
of all,
you
I
did.
had that
Yes, you
conversation
did.
with. Okay, Millith. You know what? Look, I've had that
I think
conversation.
he's a very
with Seamus,
smart
like,
kid,
ad
but
nauseam.
you know.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. I know that. I know that he's a joke.
Seamus is a smart guy, man. Don't be this.
Seamus is a smart guy. I think your like standards for smart are like
Well,
very.
you agreed the other day that you bet money that you have an above average intelligence.
Above average.
Yeah,
doesn't
Sully
mean
was the one that was saying that. Oh, he has
What do you mean by
above
smart?
average IQ.
Okay, so what
You
is
think,
smart?
you think having like a 101 IQ makes you smart?
No, fuck off. I get by a standard deviation. By a standard deviation.
Oh,
you
so
raise
like
your money.
It is like.
So 110.
Yeah, 115.
It depends
No,
on
115.
what you take IQ to be, of course, but you have to admit, like, more often than not, his reasoning is very, very.
No, but if it
solid.
doesn't constitute smartness, it definitely correlates with it, right?
You know, I'll give it.
I don't think 115 makes you smart.
I'll give you this. Like,
I do though. I think if you're like not motivated, then you probably are pretty smart.
Yeah, if you're one standard deviation above like the norm, right? You're in like the 70th percentile.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, I think you're smart.
That's smart.
100%. Yo, you know,
Most
Richard
people are.
Feynman had. Sorry,
but
Richard
he's a
Feynman had
very
120 IQ.
Distribution of intelligence is like well
Hey,
distributed.
Sully,
That's all
you know what I
he's
just said?
like the
You know what
very
I said?
thoughty reasoner, though.
Hey, Feynman 120.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
120. Yeah, 120.
yeah. Trump supposedly has it at 160. I mean, we all know that's bullshit, right? I mean, and don't say, "Oh, here comes a liberal dart."
John
right?
Lee over here
You could
says
sort
he's
of tell.
156.
You could tell that Trump, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Look, he's made a lot of money, right? He knows a lot about business.
No, he doesn't.
Right? I met a bunch of people who know.
No,
a lot
I'm
about
not conceding
business.
any of that. That's just
And
garbage.
aren't like that fucking retarded when they talk. Like,
He hasn't made a lot of money. He's lost more money than he's made by by a vast stretch.
yeah, I think by most people's lights, they would say, "Oh yeah, he has more debt than income, right? He has like more that he has to pay off than what comes in." But I think most people would say, "Yeah, but he's still a billionaire, so he must know something about money, right?
He's
He must
cash
know
poor,
something."
asset rich, but the asset rich part was basically handed down to him by his father. His father had an empire, right? At every single like the Trump organization used to be an actual developer, right? During Fred Trump's era. And when I say an actual developer, I mean like getting non-revolving loans from a bank, taking that loan and developing land, right? Trump tried to do this in the early part of his career, right? In like the late 70s and 80s. He tried to be a developer. But every single thing that he developed, every project, like just was like so stupidly financed or was horribly shoddy in the way he did it, or he cannibalized his own casino or some stupid other thing that like every single thing he touched just broke down, right? Everything he touched. So he went bankrupt a couple times, twice, and then he figured out that the way for him to make money is to become like a media personality, right? And to license his name to buildings. So every time you see a building that's like Trump Tower or whatever, he had nothing to do with the actual development of that building. He just licensed his name out for it, right? And that's the way he made a little bit of money, like coming into his presidential run. Is that like he was what was the show he was on? For NBC. Apprentice, yeah, he was like a celebrity, quote unquote, that like brought in money through like.
I will say this: he's very street savvy, so he understands social dynamics very well.
Yeah, maybe.
And that goes into like at least a huge part into like your social EQ and IQ. But he's certainly not.
But I'm just saying, Derek, like, he doesn't understand business. He does not understand business. Like, he made some of the dumbest business mistakes that like fucking a first year student would never make, like financing a casino on subprime bonds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people in the chat are going to say, oh, but you're all liberals, so of course you're going to... I mean, I'm not technically a liberal, but, I mean, you could clearly see how, like... I mean, just look at the guy's, like, way of speaking, right? Like, he's, like, very, very... Like, it's almost like he can't talk but in superlatives, right? He always has to say something is, like, the best or the greatest, right? And that a lot of people are talking about it, and, you know, so much commotion. I mean, it's just, like, very... It's almost like hearing, like, a woman talk, right? It's almost like it's the same kind of stuff, right? It's like, yeah, but, like, the Starbucks thing, and, oh, my God, did you see the Taylor Swift concert last night? Like, it was so...
He is the most feminine man in the world.
Like,
you have no clue how feminine Donald Trump cares the most about how his hair looks, how he, like, presents on TV, like, what his makeup, like, job look like, and stuff like that. Like, he cares the most about gossip more than, like, anything. Like, he would never read a paper on, like, policy, but he will read, like, every single word of gossip about, like, I don't know, one of his enemies, like, what's that fat comedian's name? Rosie O'Donnell. Like, he'll read every piece of gossip about Rosie O'Donnell,
no, that's
right?
not to say that, like, I think Kamala... I mean, I think Kamala is also an idiot, but...
Did you see this thing he did in a rally? Like,
if you had to choose between, like, Idiot 1 and Idiot 2, yeah, I think Kamala just... I mean, the idea with Trump is, like, he's running for president. So when he ran for president the first time, he didn't know the difference between Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yeah, he didn't know the difference between the three prongs of the nuclear trike.
Yeah, so it's like, that's fine if it's someone like Andrew and he doesn't know the difference, right? But when you're running for president, that's a big no-no.
But the thing is, he also went through his presidency and come out on the other side, and he still doesn't fucking know anything. Because all he does all day is watch Fox News. He doesn't actually president. Like, when he was president, all he would do is watch Fox News and then, like, maybe, like, sign a document, right? Everything else was handled by staff. Like, he's not a competent person in any meaningful way.
Yo,
like,
look at this.
He's just...
Yeah,
this thing I just put in chat. He did it. No, wait.
I know.
This is short. No, wait. So, like, this video I just put in chat is a rally he did, like, a day or two ago, where he played on the big Jumbotron, like, a compilation video of these, like, Kamala gaffes. Like, you guys, like,
Kamala,
that's like,
or,
it's Kamala, yeah, I always say it wrong. Kamala. But anyway, that's, like, crazy, dude. He, like, put up a YouTube compilation video of her gaffes at, like, a rally.
People are saying that she's going to destroy Trump in the debates, but, I mean, maybe, but...
I don't know about that.
It's sort of like, I think she'll definitely win the debates, but I don't think destroy, because I don't think her way of speaking is, like, that inspirational.
He is old now.
Yeah, he is very old and frail, right? That might be, like, there might be, like, a reverse Biden situation here, right? Where you just put in the Biden.
I think that the vice presidential debate is gonna be the one that like everybody.
Yeah, the blood. That's
wants
gonna be gonna be like another Joe Biden, Paul Ryan type of scenario, or Joe Biden, Sarah Palin, where it's like, JD Vance, like Tim Walz is like presenting a policy position, and JD Vance just defers to like childless cat ladies.
That's the sad thing about our fucking politics, dude. Like, why do we let these people get like fucking like dementia, and like we don't like say, hey, how about you like respectably kind of like like step away before this happens to you, like with the Supreme Court justices or whoever else. It's like, dude, like Biden used to be a really good debater, and it's just like sad that we have to watch this guy like basically just like disintegrate before our eyes as he ages. It's like,
but we don't. The thing is, we don't have to watch him disintegrate before our eyes as he like ages, because like we don't have to vote for him in the primary, right? It's just
I'm just saying like, there should be like a culture.
There's so many. The average person in America is so dumb and so ill-informed that they're the easiest like thing in the world to manipulate, right? So you just get like the majority of votes that are being cast in every direction are just like dumb people voting for completely unjustified nonsense reasons.
The thing is that like it's really about like the I mean, with presidential stuff, at least you have term limits, but like there should be like age limits probably.
Probably an age limit, like an age cap,
right,
would work. Probably.
Just so that we know, like, look,
before
it's like
announcing your campaign.
Right, and the reason is you should be including like if you win, then you will be an incumbent in the next election. So like what we should really be planning for here is like 8 years.
Yeah, and that gets rid of the acting president like issue, right? Because a lot of times, like during Reagan's administration, he was a
puppet.
George H.W. Bush was the acting president during Reagan's second term, like 1987 to 1989. Like he served like 12 times as acting president. So
there's been a couple of examples of like presidents becoming incapacitated largely because of illness or age, and then like the people around them essentially running the government, right? With like not even notifying the public a lot of the time. Like Reagan had severe dementia in his second term. He had pretty bad dementia actually in his first term, but he had very severe dementia in his second term. And Woodrow Wilson was like literally comatose for like the end of his term. And like his wife, I think, Woodrow Wilson's wife, was like literally running the country. Like she was the go-between between all of his cabinet members and him, quote unquote, but there was no him. He was just like locked in a room comatose.
I mean, since 2016, it's just been shit show after shit show. It just gets worse. I thought 2016 was like the peak. Like you couldn't get worse than this, is what I thought like 8 years ago. But look at where we're at right now.
I wonder if like it will get better at some point, or if it like literally just keeps getting worse. Like, because like I don't see any like path or any reason to think that it's gonna get better. At least like in the short term.
So about the blobject. It's a quantum blobject, and it emerges from space-time. I'm kidding. That's Snatty Eyes. This person in the chat says, we are going into a recession. Every index is down. Can someone check up on?
The stock market's down generally, but
the stock market is.
Yes.
And it rebounded mildly, but I don't think that's
correct.
Indicatory of a recession.
It's not even close to indicatory of a recession, and every other metric that I'm aware of is quite strong for America, especially relative to all other countries.
Albedo, do you think God is a relation, to go back to the Carlos stuff from the other day? Sully, what do you think about this? So, something is physical if it's mathematically modelable by a theory of physics. Qualia is not mathematically modelable by a theory of physics, therefore qualia is not physical.
Wait, what did you say? What?
Something is physical if it is mathematically modelable by a theory.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one as much. I think that one has more issues than. Because Albedo's gonna get you on that. You gotta hedge yourself against Albedo E.
Hello.
Hi, Laura. How are you doing? This is John.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just at the store right now. I start work at like 2 today, so I'm just running some quick errands.
Word, you're getting your business done.
Yeah, are you at the beach already, or?
No, I'm at home. I'm getting ready. I'm packed up. I'm ready to head out.
Nice. It's like a perfect day for the beach.
Yeah, I was there yesterday, and it's the air and water show. It's right there. Like they fly literally right above your head. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Yeah, I went to what was it called? North Ave Beach yesterday because it's right by my house. So I just went for a little bit alone, and it was so nice to watch.
Oh my God, I was like blown away because honestly, when those Blue Angels do that like diamond in the sky,
Yeah,
holy shit.
it's so impressive, right?
It's like real power. I mean, you know, you realize how powerful jets are, you know, and
Yeah.
fuck around and find out.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. Sorry. Just trying something on. uh, but yeah, so wait, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, yeah, just
Okay.
let me know any day of the week you want to go. I'll just send you the code and you can go right in and do what you need to do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So honestly, it's gonna be like literally like 5 minutes. I have a test shoot. I think Friday we're gonna go. We'll see. But I was just thinking because we're going for like the beach look, so like just like posing by the sailboat or like sitting on it. You know, nothing crazy.
No, I mean, you can put there. if I'm there, I'll open it and there's like nice rugs and you can like pose in the back and get the other boats in the background.
Yeah. So so it'll be quick and cool. So that would be awesome. If you could just send me like the pick up the pass and I'll be in and out, I'd appreciate it. That'd be awesome.
Okay, cool. All right, well, just let me know if yeah, just I mean, if you go Friday, just do let me know in the morning, and anyways, just let me know.
Okay, for sure. I'll keep you posted, and then in the meantime, if you could just send me the pick up the pass so I have which gate, because I think you said either J or K.
It's I always get them confused myself, but yeah. Anyways, all right, I'll text you soon.
All right, sounds good. Enjoy the beach.
Okay, thanks. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye. She wants to like use my boat to take photos. Call this goofball up.
Hello?
Hey Brian, what up? It's John. What are you doing?
Oh, just got back from the base.
Oh, you go shopping?
Went and worked out this morning and then I went and got some food at the commissary, tax free.
Oh, nice.
What you doing?
I am calling you, and I'm live streaming myself on YouTube and Clownhouse and Instagram.
Oh. What, dude? I went into that room that when you called me yesterday. I went into Issa's room. You weren't in there.
No, my new name on there is Adrian Dittman. They clipped all my accounts.
Yeah, they're still not giving me back my Doc Innovation one.
I doubt they will.
It's been 3 weeks.
I doubt they will.
I want to know what I did.
You'll never figure out what you did on any of these apps. What they say is racial incitement, hate speech, or incitement to violence. Those are the three things, and then it's like, but the thing is, if you don't even say something, and like you're listening to a podcast of, let's say, 15 people, and somebody starts dropping the N-bomb, just because, the way you look on camera, and you're not even talking, so it's just like hardcore censorship. It's crazy. It's almost impossible to to do media, because certain words cannot be used on Google and certain words cannot be used on Facebook, no matter the context or who the speaker is. It's very personal. They target people that they don't like, and that's how censorship works.
Yeah, but for the 3 years I've been on Clubhouse, like, I'm nowhere near as brutal as some of the people that holler at me. It's such a double standard. People threaten my life all the time. People call me, racial epithets all the time.
Well, see, Twitter though is getting crazy because you get like collective Jewish hate hive mind rooms, which are really crazy because it's a double standard. If they're gonna let if they're gonna let blacks make genocidal racist remarks against whites, or they're gonna let Christians make genocidal racist remarks against Jews, but obviously Jews don't create racist genocidal rooms about blacks or Christians or whites. There's just so many double standards, and the problem is if Elon keeps letting these Jew hate rooms proliferate, and there's pretty big ones, they really will never ever turn a profit, because all hate speech has to be banned. All calls to violence have to be banned. And the problem is they let Jew hate proliferate, and and they platform it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop. So it's like, I can't understand. I mean, if you don't, if you never, if you know, if you don't go to Israel and you actually go there and you like look at the people and you listen to the people and you're like, oh my God, these are just normal people that don't want to get killed, that want security and want stability. Um, it's a big problem, and Clown House is full of it, and I can't stand communicating with people that I know actually hate Jews in their hearts. It's like, I really don't want to communicate with you. I want to record you, but I don't want to communicate with you. I don't want to actually engage with you. In fact, I don't want to listen to. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people. I don't
I
want
know
to.
what you mean.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to you, but I just want to record you and then leave the room. And that's what I've been doing. I've been recording Clubhouse and then going to my other office, my other bedroom, and doing work. But recording, and Issa creates the like really some really long rooms on Jew hate. It's amazing. She platforms it.
Issa doesn't like me.
Yeah, she's a dumb puta. That's what she is.
Well, I mean, if I'm in a room with her and maybe two other people, she's nice to me.
Yeah.
You know, I know she's from Guatemala. I know she lives in Switzerland. I know what, you know, a lot of her points of view are. But if I go in a room where there's like, you know, 6 of her friends, it becomes a dog pile game. You know, but when she's by herself, she's the nicest person. I think it's such a two-faced fucking way to be.
Well, that's women in general, where I think the maxim that a girl gotta get fed is very true, and I think, she's a total ditz. I mean, she's really like a ditzy person. But that's her personality, it is what it is.
Yeah, she's definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, she's a very manipulative person, and this is the most amazing thing is I've recorded people enough to where if we were to create a heat map of all their buzzwords or keywords that they constantly use, she has not progressed. That no one has progressed. Everyone is stuck in the same paradigm as they were 365 days ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4. Everyone's technically repeating their same buzzwords. And that's what it is, But vote Trump and go to the gym, fatty. Those are my favorite keywords to just keep repeating.
I went to the gym today.
I know, you're the best. You're a fucking super soldier.
Yeah, I ran 5 miles yesterday. I rode the bicycle, the recumbent bicycle, the one where your feet are out in front of you. I rode that, and I just kept my blood pressure or my heart rate up to 150, and I held that for 45 minutes straight. Because it's low impact because my knees were hurting from yesterday. But I mean, I'm all about getting my heart rate and getting my breathing and my heart rate rhythm right.
Yeah. Smoking is the biggest difficulty, because.
But dude, I've been doing it for 30 fucking 1 year. Well, no, I'm 32 years now.
I get it. It's not about how long you've done it. It's about being here now.
Yeah, well, I'm always going to do what I always did, and I'm going to get what I always got. Less than... Dude, I imagine, like, I was running, at 34 years old, I could run 2 miles if I really wanted to in like 11 minutes and 30 seconds. That's like a 5-minute, 45-second, mile. That's a sub 6-minute mile. That's good. But that was when I was smoking after, 17 years. If I'd never smoked and I went and did that, dude, I could have run the fucking Boston Marathon twice. And it just is what it is, man. I mean, I learned to deal with the crutches I have.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is I have multiple books on smoking cessation hypnosis.
I don't want to read it.
No, that's fine. But the amazing thing is the books deal all with self-actualization. And, you have to essentially create more events in your life to limit the smoking. And when you're doing things in nature, you're typically not smoking because, like, you are one with nature. So you have to change your environment to change your smoking habit.
Okay.
That's what it says. I mean, that's what I've read, but you know,
Because
what do
I'm
I
sure
what do I
everybody
know?
Because when I go hiking on the Appalachian Trail for like, you know, a couple weeks, I'm always out in the woods smoking. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that was in the past. What are you doing now?
Dude, I got plans on going to the Appalachian Trail this year. What are you talking about in the past? It only takes me like 3 hours to drive up there. And I got a buddy I can leave my van, and I just go, you know, walk up into the fucking trail, get lost for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
What are you talking about? It's fucking heaven.
Well, it sounds to me like words are the easier way to get to heaven, and risking your life in the Appalachian Trail could possibly take you to a hell.
What? Why would I be risking my life, dude? You're more likely to die in a fucking car accident driving around Atlanta than you would fucking walking the Appalachian Trail.
Well, tell that to the bobcat who's chewing your leg when you call me and you say, "Bro,
Oh,
you
dude,
were
I
right.
ain't afraid of no fucking bobcat.
You were
I'll
right.
shoot that motherfucker.
You were right." Oh, you want to hear a funny story? I called my dad.
Dude, bobcats and lynxes are fucking, yeah, I've run across them quite a few times. Down in Florida, we used to have the Florida Panthers I used to run in when I'd go trekking through the Everglades. And that's a big fucking cat. Bobcats are small. And they're more scared of you than you are of them, if you actually know how to be a man.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is there was a possum in my garden, my attached neighbor's garden, basically the church that runs it. So this possum comes out and it's digging through all the vegetables. So I unleash huh?
They hiss at you.
So so I unleashed hellfire of about 12 pellets, you know, from my CO2 BB gun, and that thing took off like you couldn't even imagine. It ran so fast. But then I felt kind of guilty because
You know what the sad thing is? You know, I would have been, if I'd have been there, I wouldn't let you do that.
oh, I know,
Because you know how to get rid of a possum?
with a trap.
No. Go up to him with a broomstick, with the stick out, not the broom, but the stick.
Mm-hmm. You just
And
beat
go
it.
up and then right where their butt and their tail, like meat.
Oh, you snap its back.
Touch them with that, and their tail automatically will roll around. Because you know how they hang by their tail from trees when they sleep? They have an automatic response that if you hit them with that stick and touch them right above the top of the tail where it meets the body,
They'll just loop
it'll
it.
wrap the tail around that stick, and you just pick them up, you know, with the stick, with the broom, and just carry them wherever the fuck you want.
I mean, I don't know if they have traps in the garden now, and I don't know where they take them. I assume they drive them, you know, half a mile up the street to the forest preserve and dump them in the forest preserve. I don't know what they do with what they catch, but the sad part is when they catch a squirrel, the squirrel tries to put its nose through the metal grate, and it ends up like maiming itself to try to get out. And they always have bloody faces, and it's like that's not cool. Like there's got to be a better way like than to torture these animals, and they sit in the sun for hours and hours and hours maiming themselves, and I'm just like, so I freed them, but this is so I told my dad that I felt really guilty about trying to kill the possum, and he told me that he had chipmunks that were like tearing apart his garden, so he got an a Red Ryder BB gun, and he shot one of the squirrels in the face, and not the squirrels, the chipmunk, and he said the chipmunk started screaming like like screaming like a human. my dad yeah my dad like cratered and like was like started cringing. He's like, oh, I felt so bad, it was he's like it was the cutest thing in the world. That, you know, looked like a cartoon and it was screaming and I killed it. He's like, oh, I felt so bad.
Dude, I did when I was like, I think about like 12. There was a pigeon that was on a power wire, like, above my backyard. And I took aim at it with a pellet gun, and I shot it. And it fell to the ground off the wire. And as soon as it did, I kind of felt bad, like my heart kind of sank. And I went and ran out outside the fence, and I went and looked at it. And I didn't hit it in the body. I blew its fucking leg off.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up living and flying away. But dude, ever since then, I never aim at something unless I'm gonna eat it. I don't just shoot shit to shoot shit.
That's a good policy to have. It's kind of like if you're gonna shoot somebody with a real gun, you shoot to kill. Same thing.
Yeah, but I don't just like shoot shit to fucking be sadistic.
No, I'm not talking about sadism. I'm talking about like.
Yeah, but the idea in my mind was romantical when I pulled the trigger. It was just the after effect is what made me think that I'll never do that again.
Well, I did shoot some rats in my old apartment building with
those aren't animals. Those are pests.
Yeah. I mean, do you think a possum is a pest? Because people consider it a pest.
Possums are easy to get rid of. Like I said, you just go up and touch them with a stick on their tail, and their tail will wrap around the stick. And then you can just pick them up like they're holding onto a tree sleeping.
Are you sure you don't have to like touch them on the back side of the tail?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Touch them where the tail meets the body. Like where you snip a dog's tail and make it like a cut off dog. Like you hit right there on their tail, and their tail will wrap around the fucking stick. And they hiss, but once they get where a point where they're intimidated by you, you can do that. Like they'll pretend to be dead, but their tail will wrap around that bitch, and then you just pick them up and take them outside.
You think you can make?
When I used to live at my uncle's shop when I was in the military, when I was in Georgia, I'd stay at the shop working on cars until 3 a.m. So I'd sleep at the shop. Well, one night I came up there, and I was sleeping on the futon in the shop, and they had put a fucking possum under my futon.
Whoa.
Because they were being funny. And I was hearing something, and I looked under there, that motherfucking face went. Dude, it freaked me out, man.
That had to scare the shit out of me.
Well, that's what my cousins do for fucking fun. They put a possum under your fucking bed. But case are up. What you got going on for today? You got anything good planned?
Dude, I went to the Air and Water show last night, or yesterday, afternoon. And I think F-35 Raptors and then some kind of bomber and C-130s, and they just fly right over your fucking head it was unfucking believable. So I'm headed back there, within the next 10 minutes to film it. And I'm gonna try to live stream it on YouTube. And most people don't know this area is an incredible place to watch it, but they do these huge loops because they go to a target area where most of the people are all congregated, but they loop behind me, and so we get a different kind of a show, a different viewing angle.
Yeah, you're in the turnaround section.
Yeah, I'm in the perfect turnaround area, and it is unfucking believable to see a jet fly over your head. And I had earplugs in. Holy fuck, it is so loud, and since they fly faster.
You do know that you hear fucking jets flying over my house all the time, right?
No, I never heard on your phone jets.
Dude, I live under the flight path of the Air Force Base. A-10 Thunderbolts fly over my head, and on any given day, 10 times a day, 15 times a day.
Well,
C-130s, fucking Black Hawk helicopters. That's the main three, but they're about to extend the runway by another quarter mile. And when they do that, then we're going to start getting in B-21 bombers, the new B-2 version, B-21s. And we're supposed to be getting a whole squadron of F-22, the Raptors.
So when the Blue Angels, they do this diamond thing in the sky, and they do a full loop. I was like, holy fucking shit. That was fucking I think they did it twice.
Dude, Dude, I remember it was it 86 when I was like 11, and my buddy went to the air show. They tried to get me to go with them, and I didn't go. And it was when the Blue Angels, they were doing where they swoop at the ground, and they were in formation, and they follow the lead guy, and they're like in a V pattern. And so as they're swooping at the ground to kind of like, do their smoke screen and make it look cool, one like zooming by the runway and shit. The lead pilot didn't lift, so he hit the ground, and all the other fucking Blue Angels, like 3 of the other Blue Angels behind him, all hit the ground because they were following the leader, and they literally all hit the ground. Like, so I think that out of like the 5 or 6 of them, I think like 3 of them lived, and then were able to pull up because they're far enough back that they could make it. But yeah, that was like 86, I think. But yeah, the Navy's Blue Angels, and then we have like the Air Force, the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I used to do air. I love air shows, man. That'd be a cool fucking day, man. Hanging out on the boat, fucking getting some sun.
Dude, I honestly, I
flags,
wish you were
cool
here.
fucking videos.
I wish you were here because you'd be the captain, man. And I got no captain, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well, as long as you're Tennille.
Tomazel, Huff and Hess Incorporated. Da-na-na-na-na-na. We're gonna do it.
I love Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, that was actually a good show.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, working at the bottling company. Yeah, I remember at the end that she puts a glove on the bottle and she waves goodbye at the glove in the end of the fucking opening sequence.
So I was dating this girl, and she had a friend in Wisconsin. So we drove up to Milwaukee, and we went to the Laverne and Shirley manufacturing plant. It's called like Lakeside Brewing Company or something. And you go through the tour. You go through this big tour, and then you go to this one room that they have like this plexiglass blocking it because it's like part of the actual conveyor belt system, and it's where they filmed that shot for the scene in the opening credit. And then they have televisions playing a reel of that scene from the television show.
Yeah, man. Dude, I just showed my age for sure.
Yeah.
Ask a millennial about Laverne and Shirley. Like, they wouldn't even know when you started singing, like, Shamil, Shamazel, Harperland Incorporated. We're gonna do it. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the song, but yeah, I knew what you meant, though. I can still hear the jingle in my head.
Yeah. That was a big show. I mean, I used to watch Nick at Night, so I used to watch that, Bob Newhart, whatever,
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. I used to watch whatever was on Nick at Night. To me, that was like, I was like, wow, this is really, amazing because...
The Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, that show was big.
Throwbacks.
Yeah, the Andy Griffith Show is really unique Americana. Did you know that Ron Howard, he sold his production company for like $1 billion or just some crazy amount of money? And you know the name of it. Anyways, I'm just saying Ron Howard is like a fucking Hollywood mogul,
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think like American Graffiti was probably like, one of the last real times that he was in front of the camera. After that, he was always behind it.
Yeah, I think, what was that, the spaceship movie? That was like a huge blockbuster.
The spaceship movie.
Oh, Apollo 13, yeah.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks.
That movie was fucking huge, like in the box office.
Do you know that the Pentagon funded that one?
Oh, no doubt. I got no doubt.
No, the Pentagon has like I think it's like $1 billion a year that they're allowed to use, that they invest into Hollywood scripts and productions to be able to influence like propaganda.
Oh, I know. There was criticism because the Army spent like $200 million on NASCAR advertising, and like their recruiting numbers are like, down significantly. So the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, they have, such huge budgets. And so collectively they're spending like close to like, God, damn, probably like
Billions.
oh, many billions, probably 10 billion a year on advertising.
Yep.
And yeah. You know, when I was in the National Guard, they had an affiliate program that if you got somebody into the National Guard, they would pay you like I don't know. No. It was like let me say it was like 7,000 to like 15,000 or something. And
Whoa.
yeah, I was like, whoa, this is big. Like you technically could start your own recruiting stations.
Yeah, 10 people per year. That's $150,000 a year job.
Yeah, so there was a guy who recently got like prosecuted for like making millions of dollars from that recruiting scheme, and but it was all identity theft, and it was like a big fraud.
Oh. Yeah, I just got offered a job to work on the base. I went and helped my buddy the other day. He got a contract, doing the lawn maintenance for the base. The contract's worth $1 million, easy.
Wow.
But he needed help. One of his workers got hurt, and he needed somebody help real bad. So he paid me $200, and I worked for 3.5 hours.
If he needs more people, put a message on Nextdoor and say, hey, I'm a veteran, and the base is looking for qualified people to help do landscaping. Call or text me, and then just be a job recruiter.
Yeah, no, I mean, but they're offering me. They saw me working out there, and I'm not a person that takes a lot of breaks and stuff like that. I'm more of a person that just likes to get it fucking done so I can leave. And they saw me working out there, and they came over and offered me a fucking job, making like $24 an hour.
Yeah, but
And that was pretty much just drying their equipment. That's not even. I mean, I was weed whacking, busting my ass on this long ass fence line that was like 1.5 miles long. I literally weed whacked like 1.5 miles on both sides of the fence, and I just got it done in 3.5 hours. And they're like, man, that usually takes somebody all fucking day. And I'm like, well, I'm not.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that work. You don't want to do that work.
No, no. I only did it because my buddy needed help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, imagine going on Clown House, pouring yourself a glass of Tecate with some orange juice and sparking a bowl and getting paid to manage rooms on Clown House.
I wouldn't want to do that.
What?
Nah, I'd rather go weed whack than deal with that shit.
Oh my god, you're ridiculous.
Well, I mean, when I ran my business, if I put in a contract to run that whole fucking base, do the lawn maintenance for the whole fucking base, that'd be like a $3.5 million a year contract. I could buy brand new trucks, brand new trailers, brand new equipment, hire out the best people, pay people $25 an hour for really good workers. That way you're not getting the $10 an hour dumb fucks. And then have quality people, and then you could just have them running the fucking crews all damn fucking year. So I'm thinking about putting in some contracts. I put in a contract for that at Fort Benning over in Columbus, but I got beat out by a guy for like $250,000. He was $250,000 cheaper than me. But, there's plenty of other ways to make money, man. It's not about the money for me, though.
I'm not talking about the money. Anyways, I'm talking about communication.
Well, the more we're talking, the further away from the truth we get.
There we go.
Well, go do your airport, flybys and enjoy your day, man.
Okay, God bless. Talk to you soon.
Okay, peace.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Your call has been forwarded. You've reached Jessica. You're calling.
Hmm.